I love Booktok because it gave me the chance to fall back in love with reading again in my adulthood, and I love it for that. However, there are some incredibly popular books on here that I know for a fact I am never going to pick up, and here is my list. Once again, if you want to pick these up or if they're your favorite books of all time, genuinely, I love that for you. You'll have preferences, and with the amount of books that I have on my TBR, I have to draw a line somewhere. Icebreaker, dear old Icebreaker. Not seen this one on my For You page for quite a long time now, but I must be honest, there has been no review, good, bad, or otherwise, that has made me want to pick up this book. Truly, all I needed to know about this is there is a spicy scene where the MMC is dressed up as Gru. Pardon? I think not. The Zodiac Academy. If I were to start this series, it would be out of sheer curiosity because of the hype. And you know what? That is not enough to convince me to start a 9+ book series where each book is a literal brick. I've also heard this is based around the star signs. I mean, it's called the Zodiac Academy, and I'm not really into astrology in any way, shape, or form. I also hear that this can be graphic in a very non-consensual way, and I just don't want to read about that. How to End a Love Story. This popped off on my For You page a couple of years ago when it first came out. This is a romance book that was high on my list of books to read until I found out how our two main characters are connected, and that immediately put me off. Our male main character was the driver of the car that unalived our female main character's sister after she threw herself in front of it. For me, that just felt like a very bizarre premise from which to build a romance on. I don't think I'd be into it. I don't think I'd be invested. I actually find that a little bit of an uncomfortable thought, and so I don't think this one is personally for me. A Little Life. I have thought long and hard about whether I would ever want to pick this book up. For some people, it is their favorite book of all time, and for others, it completely destroyed them, and they will go out their way to de-influence people from reading this. I think where I stand is that I'm very down for an emotionally heavy book at the right time. Emotionally heavy in a way that it plays a key part in the story and of the character's growth and development. From what I'm seeing and understanding, this is emotionally traumatizing and emotionally heavy for the sake of being traumatizing and emotionally heavy. And for me, with my emotionally heavy books, I need there to be some kind of payoff at the end. And if we're just being emotionally heavy for the sake of it, I'm not sure if that payoff is going to be there. So I have written this one off for me personally. This one might be a little bit of a weird take, but it just doesn't call out to me, and that is Caraval. I can't explain this. I read and loved Once Upon a Broken Heart. I even talked about it in a previous video about TikTok books that were worth the hype. I know I really like Stephanie Garber's writing, and I know that Once Upon a Broken Heart is actually set in the same kind of world as Caraval, or like there is some crossover, but for some unknown strange reason, this does not call out to me in any way, shape, or form. This is an OG TikTok book, and I do hear mixed reviews about it, and a lot of the more negative reviews say that the main characters are a little bit insufferable, and sometimes I do find those kinds of characters particularly triggering to read about.